Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this, well, I should say one row repeat. Is just slightly tiny modification for the second row in the beginning and the end of the stitch, but basically it's, I would say it's one row repeat. The stitch is reversible. I'm gonna show you the sample after I show you the stitch. You can use, for example, a bigger crochet hook than your yarn recommends if you want a looser look. I'm gonna use 7.0 millimeter crochet hook. The sample that I'm gonna show you I did with 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, so it's a little bit tight, it's compact, the stitch. If you want for a scarf a looser one, use a bigger crochet hook than your yarn recommends. For example, this yarn recommends that I should use at the most 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, but I'm gonna use with the, I'm gonna work with a 7.0 just to see if some of you like a little bit loose, or not necessarily open but light. Yeah, and if you are to do a scarf, I will suggest you work on the back of the chain through the bumps. Yeah, and this stitch works with even numbers. I have here 12 chains. We're gonna do a small sample. We're gonna skip the first chain, and into the second chain from the hook we're gonna do a single crochet. So this I'm gonna work through the bump of the chain, for example for a scarf or a blanket. So we're gonna do a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, the next chain single crochet, and so on. This row is gonna be single crochet in each stitch, well, chain. So you have the bumps. For those of you that you want to attach tassels, if you work on the through the bump, you're gonna have the stitches here nicely, so you will count how many stitches you will skip and then attach your tassels or fringe. But this stitch, it's quite easy, goes really fast. You can use variegated yarn. I think this one looks nice, variegated yarn. You can change colors every 2-4 rows, up to you, but you can use also just one plain color if you like. So the last chain single crochet, we're gonna chain 2. Well, I like to chain 2 when I have to work with a double crochet. If you don't feel comfortable with 2 chains only, you can put 3 chains. Yeah. So into the next stitch, yarn over the hook, we're gonna do a double crochet. So this row is gonna be double crochet in each stitch until we finish this row. So move to the next stitch, double crochet, next stitch, double crochet, and so on. I use this big 7.0 crochet hook. I just wanted to show you how this will look with a bigger crochet hook than your yarn recommends. And maybe some of you will like to make a blanket or a scarf, but with this stitch I will recommend use a soft yarn. So if you don't have a soft yarn, use a bigger crochet hook than the yarn recommends, at least a number or 2 numbers bigger. Okay, so we have the last stitch. We're gonna do a double crochet also. Okay, got it. Okay, so from this moment forward we're gonna start with the stitch. This is just the base. We're gonna chain 2. Like I said, if you like you can chain 3, but I like to chain only 2. Okay, yarn over the hook. We're gonna move to the first double crochet here, and we're gonna do a puff. I'm gonna go twice, so once, yarn over the hook, go back again around that double crochet and do a, let's say, front post puff. So we're gonna pull the yarn through the first 4 loops and then pull the yarn to the last 2. Yarn over the hook into the next stitch. We're gonna do a double crochet through the stitch on top there. Into the next double crochet we're gonna do a puff, front post, let's say. So once, and twice. We're going to pull the yarn to the first 4 loops, then pull the yarn to the last 2. So into the next double crochet, we're going to do a double crochet through the stitch. And we're going to alternate like this. We're going to move to the next stitch, which is the double crochet, and we're going to do a puff. If you like the puff bigger, then you can go 3 times. Yeah? It's up to you. Next stitch, double crochet on top of the stitch there. Next stitch, it's a puff. So one row you're gonna start with a puff, and one row you're gonna start with a double crochet on top of the stitch. So the next, through the stitch, we're gonna do a double crochet. So we have the double crochet and the chain 2. So we're gonna move to the next double crochet, the last one of this row, and we're gonna do a puff. So one row you're gonna finish with a puff and a double crochet, and the next row you're gonna finish with the 2 double crochets. So the chain 2, we're gonna go on top of the second chain, and we're gonna do a double crochet. It's gonna look like this for now. Okay, we're gonna chain 2 or 3 if you like. And now, like I said, one row you're gonna start with a puff, and one row you're gonna start with a double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna move to the next stitch, and we're gonna do a double crochet, and the next is gonna be a puff into the next double crochet. So once and twice. Pull the yarn to the first 4 loops, pull the yarn to the last 2. Into the next stitch, we're gonna do a double crochet. The next double crochet or stitch, we're gonna do a puff, and we're gonna alternate like this. Next stitch, you're gonna do a double crochet through the stitch, and the next stitch is gonna be a puff. You can work this as an infinity scarf, blanket, even a hat, but for a hat I think you should use the exact crochet hook that your yarn recommends. But if you, where you live, the winter is not so cold, you can use this as a scarf, has some opening, but still it's gonna be quite warm. So now at the end, because we started with 2 double crochets, well, the chain and the double crochet into the first stitch, we're gonna finish with 2 double crochets. So into the next stitch, we're gonna do a double crochet, yarn over the hook, and on top of the second chain, we're gonna do a double crochet. And the next row, you're gonna start with a puff. Yeah? So chain 2, turn your work. It's gonna look like 3D puffs, blocks, something like that. So into the next double crochet right here, because we're not going to work with this because the chain 2 is coming. So we're going to do a puff into the next double crochet there. So once and twice, pull the yarn to the first 4 loops, pull the yarn to the last 2, and into the next stitch, double crochet. Next stitch, because you see the one that you have to do, the puff, it's like right in front, and this one it's in the back. Yeah, so it's gonna be easy to see what you have to do, which one. It's a puff, it's a double crochet. So into the next double crochet, into the next you're gonna do a puff, and you're gonna alternate the rows like this. Basically it's the same, it's just one row will start with a puff and one row will start with double crochet through the stitch. So the next is the puff, the next stitch is double crochet, and because we started with the puff, after we chain the chains, 2 chains, we started with the puff, we're gonna finish with the puff into the last double crochet, and yarn over the hook, and we have the chain, so we're gonna go on top of the second chain and we're gonna do a double crochet. And let's say you do a scarf and you want to finish, so this is gonna look like this, a little bit open. So if you like for a spring, let's say, scarf, you can use a bigger crochet hook than the yarn recommends, and it's quite nice. So you want to finish, you're gonna chain one, and you're gonna turn your work, and now you're gonna do single crochet in each stitch, because we started with one row of single crochet in the beginning. So the first stitch is here, we're gonna do a single crochet, next stitch single crochet, next stitch single crochet, and you're gonna do single crochet in each stitch. So if you like a little bit loose, you can use a bigger crochet hook. It's not necessarily to use the 7.0, the one I use now, but you can use, let's say, a number or 2 numbers bigger the crochet hook, and it's gonna be a little bit loose. So the next stitch single crochet, next stitch single crochet, and on top of the second chain or the third, if you choose to put 3 chains, you're gonna do a single crochet, and you finish. So this one is worked with 7.0 millimeter crochet hook. It's a little bit loose, yeah, but the sample that I did with 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. So if you like a little bit tidy for a scarf, I think this one is nice. Like I said, the stitch is reversible front and back, so if you like, you can try working with the stitch some projects. And these are the sides, pretty much okay. If you like I said, you like to put 3 chains, put 3 chains when you turn your work. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you find something to do with this stitch. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.